California Golden Seals are back in the playoffs. In this episode, we take on the Los Angeles Kings. Whether or not we find any success, though, of course, that is up in the air. I do want to get to your comments before we get into this. Fredzina, I will say outright, I don't know what this series is anymore. It's taken enough twists and turns, and I'm sure today's episode will be no different. Paulie, fingers crossed, buddy. That's all I can say. I'll say this. I don't think anyone expects to necessarily win the Cup this year, but much like, say, the Maple Leafs when they made the playoffs about a year ahead of schedule and lost to Washington, as long as we don't get embarrassed, we're fine. If we make it out of the first round, that's tremendous. Time will tell what goes down. Again, as far as playing Bachman at center goes, it's not ideal, but there's no doubt that Nylander should be a top-line guy for us, so it's just kind of how it's worked out. And at the very least, it's given Bachman a chance. I mean, Bachman, less than 30 points this year. You could say he probably shouldn't be on that second line, but again, the lines, the team, or the team set up right now and the way everything's organized, not exactly what I would have expected, and we'll get into that in a moment. And it does have to go along with what Blue Hair Wannabe mentioned about me maybe changing up the lines a bit too much when I did. That said, Alvin Smith, let's get to this. I love your MLB and Madden videos, even though you're an NHL guy. I actually don't watch your NHL content. Ouch. But I tried at the beginning of the year to get into them, but then I fell off. I committed myself to catch up on the Golden Seals, and over the past 2 weeks, I watched all 36 videos. You beautiful, beautiful person. You get a gold star for the day. You are the subscriber of the day. Let it be known, December 21st, 2018, Alvin Smith is the man. Beautifully done. I hope you end up enjoying the Tranmere series and NBA 2K19. Time will tell. I know it's very much desired. So we shall see. And you know what? I'll mention this here too because I've talked about this a lot. Right now, my current setups, of course, we have Vegas and Tranmere. We have the Seals and the Madden series, and then we have the Hut series with an MLB series. There's really no way for me to work in NBA unless I have it then be 4 different days, right? So I could have Vegas Tranmere, Seals and Madden, MLB and Hut, and then NBA and probably FHM. Is 4 days, in between uploads a bit too much? That's the real question. I kind of think that would be. But, maybe, just maybe, it'll happen. I can't be the only one wondering why you're complaining about Nylander, Moroz, and Ivanov when they did so good early on, which led you to be leading the division, and as soon as you split them up, the whole team went to shit. I perhaps expected a bit too much of them, when in reality they were doing okay, and the team's lack of success was primarily down to goaltending. I admit my fault in that. That said, it's a miracle that we made the playoffs with that goal differential. Case in point, I maybe judge the forwards' inability to make up for horrible goaltending, or at least subpar goaltending, a tad bit too sharply. Which brings me to what this team is going to be to start this series. And I think we go back to what was working. That top line. I mean, here's the thing, and I think this is the problem, is there's always the thought of, well, maybe if we change something up, whether it be, the lines themselves, player types, that we could be even better. And I think maybe that's where I get in my own head a little bit in terms of changing things up a bit too much. But, if you look at a Kim Nylander, right, I don't think I'm wrong to have expected 48 points. I know we dropped him at one point, but he's such an interesting player in that, should he be a sniper? Should he be a two-way? He's one of those guys, and there are a ton of them on this team. I think Brian Burrow is the best case in point. He could be a two-way. He could be a power forward. He could be a grinder. He could be a playmaker. I think you factor that in with having seen certain numbers be a bit lower than I wanted them to be, and I think Steven Moroz is a good example of that, where he hit the goal-scoring mark that I'd love for him to get, but you kind of hope for 50-plus points. It was a weird season. I'm not going to say I didn't switch things up at incorrect times, and I think some of the frustration with me changing things up at the top line had to do with the fact that the third line was absolutely killing it, and maybe feeling that pressure of, well, do we reward them? Do we keep them there? The third line's doing well. Why is Nylander not on like a 60-point pace? Regardless, I'm pretty confident, somewhat, mostly confident, in the way this team is organized right now. Whether or not we're good enough to beat the LA Kings, I don't know. And again, this is our first year back in the playoffs. There will be tinkering with the combos. There will be tinkering with the player types. Of course, we are going to have other players make an even bigger push to be in the NHL next year, whether that be Ross Marlowe. Kretschmann still has an opportunity to make the lineup. You talk about defensively, the competition. Vorobiev ended up getting sent down, but Blatney might still make it. Pat Ling, some of the other guys that we don't have signed. We are in the early stages where we're continuing to work things out to really decide, okay, this is the core. Like, this is the group that's either going to get it done or we're going to fail for a second time. Like I said, expectations are tempered for this episode. If we win, cool. Just for the love of God, don't get embarrassed. Much like the final version of the old core did in their last hurrah. That's all I want to avoid at this point. Now, whether or not I end up making line changes throughout the series, time will tell. Hopefully, we don't have to, and hopefully we can get the win. But at the very least, we're going to see what we're going up against here. Oh, my God. Oh, that top line. Jesus. Okay. Tristan Bolt. Former 7th round. Oh, my God. That's Tate Dwyer-esque, except Tate Dwyer, I know that's the Vegas series, but still, Tate Dwyer was a 3rd round pick. Jesus Christ, Los Angeles. Oh my God. 80 points, 70 points. Good Lord, man. Tristan Bolt with Chris Lindros, who's 33. So talk about last hurrahs. They're starting to get there. This top line, Grenier is 27. This top line's getting there, man. Chris Lindros looks ridiculous as well. 80 points, 70 points, 60 points. And Grenier, a former number 1 overall pick, 70 points, 80 points, 91 points. Quite a while ago at this point. That top line's absurd. Second line, Ilya Kozlov, who is 35 at this point. Same draft as Fragapane, was selected by the Sens. I do want to take a look. 60-point guy for the most part, 50 to 60. Centered by Yves Leclerc, the 24-year-old, a former second-round pick, and Pascal Duchesne, another former second-round pick. The third line is Thomas Laaksonen, a Rangers pick, former third-rounder, 81 overall. Zachary Gore, former third-round pick, and Camden Gentile, an 83. Fourth line, we have Tim Fair, Sergei Vasyunov, and Andre Koristin. A very familiar name. Andre Koristin, a 4th-round pick of ours in our technically first year draft. Of course, we had the extra entry draft. That was the first draft at the end of season 1. Andre Koristin was a selection. Defensively, oh my God. We're so screwed. Like, we're good, but we're not this good yet. There's no way. There's no way. We're not this good. We're not in this class yet. We have promise, and we might be able to get there. We're not in this class yet. We are outmatched. Flat out. Maurice Marchand is a former 2nd overall selection. 40-point guy, 30 to 40-point guy. I think we know who this guy is, don't we? Anthony Rokon, former 4th overall pick in 2020. Oh, God. In fairness, he's still not putting up a tremendous amount of points. How much is he making? 9.1. You look at what's... Oh, God, I forget his name. He's on the top pairing right now. Oh, my God. Why can't I think... You know, it's going to bug the shit out of me. I'm completely blanking on this guy's name. Francois. It's the other No, I didn't... Yeah, it's the other Francois, who is putting up more points than Rokon on a much cheaper deal. So I like that at least. Second pairing is Alexander Kabanov, former 1st-round pick with Eric Love. My God, the former 1st-round picks. Alexander Zhamnov is with Yves Bussières. Damn, who's the goal? That's our only opening. They have Belfour and Valaket. The big question is, who is their goaltender? That's our opening. That is the only way we win this series. Can we get to Mikko Korhonen? That's the question. 3rd-round pick of the Bruins. They have an undrafted goalie in Lance Redmond as the backup. That is the Achilles heel. They are better than us offensively. They are better than us defensively, but there is a way to make this happen. Can we get to that goaltending? You see the grades. Can we get to that goaltender? That is our opportunity. Let's get this series underway. Let's do it. Game 1, Staples Center in Los Angeles. Here we go. First period, and that's not a great start. Leclerc and Fair, amazing, with the goals on Ackerland, 12 shots to 6. Second period, Loxton and Grenier, and Ackerland's not exactly inspiring right now. Jesus. Okay. Power play chance. Just don't embarrass yourselves. Fight back. Put up a fight. Please. Defend yourselves. Don't disgrace yourselves by getting shut out by an 82 overall goalie in the first game and lose 4-0. Don't do it. Don't do it. Damn it. This could be short, sweet, and to the point. We outshot them 33-28, but lose 4-0. We could not find the back of the net. We could not get a puck past an 82 overall Korhonen. And unfortunately, again, Ackerland, who we were kind of hoping would be the guy, is not exactly inspiring with his play right now. We dropped game 1 by the score of 4-0. I'm not going to make any lineup changes yet, obviously. I think for the moment, we'll just see how it goes. But Torsten Ackerland underperforming to this extent, very frustrating. Very frustrating. His first career postseason game, and he gets destroyed. He's our only option. Like, we have no choice. We win with him or we don't win at all. Game 2, let's do this. We need to score some goals, fellas. First period. And we do! Look at that! Steven Moroz gets the first goal on Korhonen, 11 shots to 10. We have the 1-0 lead. Can we hold on to it, though? Second period, yes we can. 24 shots to 18. We're up 1-0 as we head into the final 20 minutes of regulation. Insurance, please. Insurance. Goal, please! Yang with the goal. Beautiful. That third line chips in. We're up 2-0. Halfway through the third period. Do we have what it takes to hold on? Duchesne scores. Come on now. 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, please. Yes, call us off. The empty netter. 3-1 final. And at the very least, we're not going to be horrifically embarrassed. That is a victory in the postseason. It's been a while, hasn't it? 3-1 final. As we split those first 2 games on the road, I will take it. Korhonen was still the first star of the game. Ackerland, a much better performance. Would it be Ackerland or Ackerland? I'm not sure. Regardless, we'll call him Takerland. The Undertakerland. His first name, The Under. Anyway, 3-1 victory. We're heading back home to Oakland, which is the only time, no offense, I think I'd ever be like, fuck yeah, we're going to Oakland, let's do this. But damn it, we're going to Oakland. Oracle Arena. Let's go. No lineup changes necessary. Damn it, why would there be? Although I gotta admit, I am kind of tempted, but yeah, let's do it. We're okay. We're okay. We got this. Game 3 on home ice. Can we send a statement with a strong performance here? First period is scoreless, 13 shots to 6. Ackerland stepping up and getting the job done to keep us in this game. Second period, no longer. 20 shots to 19 in our favor, but Corriston with the goal. That's a heartbreaker. To the third period we go. We need to step up. Brian Boro. That's what I was hoping for. Let's go. That third line continuing to deliver as we approach the halfway mark of the period. Power play for the Kings. It's an extended power play, but it is killed off. 7 minutes. Corriston. Oh, Corriston. It had to be the former player. Is there a late goal here? 2 minutes left. Can we force overtime? No, we cannot. The dagger from the former Golden Seal. Corriston leads the way for the Kings. Korhonen still outperforming our offense for the most part, as frustrating as that is. And to be honest, for Game 4, The thought of maybe shaking something up here, shaking things up might not be the worst way to go. No points from Nylander or Ivanov. The one goal. Okay, our top six has been completely ineffective. Completely ineffective. As has the bottom six, for the most part. So now is absolutely where we look to shake things up. And I'm going to be drastic about this. Angelo Bachmann is going down to the fourth line. We're going to play him at center. Best shot. Let's go ahead and have Sarno on that side. We're going to go Clements, Bachmann, Sarno, Nylander, Yang. Boro stays as the third line. I'm going to go with Moroz, Ivanov, Francois, McCauley, Nylander, Ricci. Just gut instincts, wanting to try this to see if it works. We have Moroz on the strong side. I'm intrigued to see if it works. My only other thought is that perhaps bumping up McCauley or even Ricci to that top line might be the better move. That's my only other thought, is maybe keeping Boro on that, or Moroz on that other side might be the best way to go. It's my only other thought. That's a tough one, simply because sniper, two-way, playmaker, sniper, sniper, two-way. We only have one playmaker in that top six right now. At least one designated playmaker. I'm going to go with that. Ralph Ricci's going to get the opportunity. Defensively, that top two needs to step up. And unfortunately, plus-minus wise, they've been struggling. So for me, the move is fairly simple. Kolosov and Shattenkirk stay the same. We go Richter, Zieler, Saugus, Francois, and we see how that goes. And goaltending-wise, Åkerlund's done well. 919 is not amazing in a playoff series, but it's good enough to give us an opportunity. It is Game 4, very important. I know I said I was going to try to resist mixing and matching, but damn it, when I see players underperforming, we got to take action. Let's see what happens. First period of Game 4, and that was ridiculous, but we come out on top. Okay. Grenier gets the opening goal. Moroz ties it. Duchesne restores the lead. McCauley ties it, and then Sergei Ivanov shows up and gets the opening goal. I mentioned our top six underperforming. 3 goals from the top 6 on 14 shots through the first 20 minutes. A solid answer, a solid response from the team. Second period, can we hold on to the lead? Yes, we can. Scoreless, 22 shots to 20, 3-2 on the board as a big third period awaits. Can we tie this series, or will very quickly the Kings establish a 3-1 series lead and have a chance to send us home in Game 5? Let's do this. We need insurance. The insurance goals. Power play opportunity goes to waste. The Kings end up with a 4-on-3. They score, and then they score on the 5-on-4. 4-3 Los Angeles out of nowhere. 2 goals by Leclerc as we get into penalty trouble. 6 minutes left. Can we get back into this one and force overtime? I am begging you, somebody. God damn it. So the big question is, who's the GOAT in this one? Who took the penalties? Boro and a double minor high-sticking call on Zieler. Jesus. Rokon went to the box, and we pissed it away in epic fashion. A wonderful chance to win this game. We slip up, and the Kings have a 3-1 series lead. I said I didn't want us to embarrass ourselves, and at the very least, we're not facing a sweep. But in a way, it is a little bit embarrassing, because we've had an opportunity here against a better team to make them pay for it. And unfortunately, that hasn't happened. And I gotta be honest, I think it's gonna be France. I'm gonna drop Richter and Zieler. Zieler right now, not playing like a guy who deserves those top pairing minutes. In fairness, neither is Francois. But we're gonna go Kolosov, Shattenkirk, Francois Saugus, Richter, Zieler. And as far as the top 6 is concerned, still no points from Jean-Francois. Only 1 point, no goals from Kim Nylander. As frustrating as that is, you have 1 point from Quincy Clemens. Jean-Francois is going to be dropped. I know we're in mix and match territory here, but it is what it is, because Clemens, I mean, in fairness, we are dropping a playmaker, but Clemens, I mean, he does have the passing to potentially set up Moreau's. We'll bump over Sarno. So Sarno, Bachman, Francois, a very capable fourth line, because they should not be a fourth line. We'll see how it goes. I mean, our power play is pretty much what you'd want it to be, for the most part. I mean, McCauley's in, although again, Nylander's also in. So our power play is kind of what you'd want it to be, but maybe not necessarily. I'm going to go with the Francois for the hell of it. And we'll have Nylander back up there on the top units. That power play stays. We'll go Zeeler and McCauley. Let's try it. Unfortunately, our backs are against the wall here in Game 5. Can we dig ourselves out of trouble? Again, I felt like we were outmatched. Unfortunately, there is that little bit of disappointment, because we've had opportunities. We just haven't gotten the job done in this series. Game 5, can we stay alive? First period, it's a goal apiece. Steven Moreau scores again. Fair is able to tie it. Second period, and we are in trouble. Grenier and Marchand, 25 shots to 21. We are down 3-1 and 20 minutes away from elimination, unless there is a comeback on the cards, in the cards, on the book, in the coffin. Come on. 10 minutes left, and Grenier seals it. Unfortunately, we are just not yet at that point where we're ready for this stage. The LA Kings are simply a better team right now, even if it is frustrating that their 82 overall goalie outmatched our goaltender. Now you could say, well, reverse the scenario. How would your goalie do if he was behind that Kings defense? And that is fair to say, but still, it's a fairly disappointing loss. Like I said, we still have questions. I mean, Åkerlund, it wasn't great. And for an 88 overall goalie, you do expect more, because the defense in front of him isn't terrible. But there's the real issue. Kolosov led this defense core in points. That is unacceptable. He had 17 points in the regular season as a rookie. Andrew Zeeler, 1 point after, again, he is a 40-point defenseman on average. 1 point. It's disgusting. We had to pay him $20 million to keep him here. It's disgusting. And the fact is, I mean, he is normally, maybe not normally, but you look at the run to the final, like, he should be able to put up points in the playoffs. Shattenkirk wasn't a major point producer. He had 25 points in the regular season. 1 point this year. Rene Francois, definitely the most disappointing. 40 points in consecutive seasons. Nothing. So we have an issue with our defensemen stepping up in the playoffs, and then I think offensively, I mean, again, that's a problem. Moreau's and Yang, 3 points. I mean, the big issue, I'd say here, Kim Nylander, 1 point. Started off for the first 3 games with Ivanov and Moreau's. 1 point. Jean-Francois, nothing. Bachman, nothing. And a -6. The guys who ended up as our fourth line, and they got ripped to shreds. Like I said, we still have issues moving forward. Doesn't necessarily surprise anybody. Again, the hope was that we at least didn't embarrass ourselves. Depends on what your definition of embarrassing ourselves would have been. We avoided the sweep, so we're at least not embarrassed in that way. We dodged that bullet. But to underperform like we did, I think I at least can't walk away from that playoff series happy. Granted, I'd never be happy about my team losing, but disappointed, I guess, is the key word here. So the big thing heading into the next season is going to be player development, of course, and what happens in this upcoming draft. I think player development, even more so, is going to be that much more important, because heading into next season, We might have new faces, which could result in different players setting up under different player types to try and get different looks to see what works for these guys. Nashville ends up winning the Stanley Cup. Let's take a look. That's another Stanley Cup for Eli Maroon. Unless he's gone, that is another Stanley Cup for Eli Maroon. The Kings lost to the Golden Knights in 7 in the very next round. Let's take a look at what a cup-winning team looks like, shall we? Because, as we are well aware of, we are not one. Enqvist, Kallio Lawson, yeah. Jordan Kyrie's still there. Aiden Meach has been one of the big names in this series as far as other teams. Bouchard, McCullough. That defense is amazing. Grachev is the goalie. It was not Eli Maroon. It was Sergei Grachev. So, former Ducks goaltender leads Nashville to the Stanley Cup. That is now consecutive cups for the Preds. They also won the President's Trophy this year. In terms of hardware, they did quite well. Did we have anything? Brock Sestito wins the Vezina in Columbus. And Eli Maroon, now with the Rangers, wins the Jennings. That's his third time winning that award in the last 4 seasons. My soul hurts after seeing that. Oh, God. All right. Let's get to the draft in this episode. I want to get to the draft in this episode so that we can end things on a little bit of a high note. I don't know if I'll go through the re-sign phase, but I want an opportunity to, at least end things on that bright note. So, I mean, decent season for guys like Bachman, Marlowe. Ricci's up to an 84. I think his development's going to be crucial for us moving forward. Then you got guys like Conacher, Nichushkin, Mayorov, Tamara. Very, very promising developments from a lot of our young guys, especially after that last draft with how important that was. And this upcoming draft, important as well, where we need to make sure that we absolutely hit the mark with these selections. So we'll get to the lottery results first, and it's the Vancouver Canucks with that number 1 pick. Whew. All right, draft class I'm actually not going to concern myself with because, of course, trading up isn't an option. We'll see who's available whenever we get to pick, as Jack Eichel calls it a career. 1,400 points, over 500 goals. Not too bad. Pasternak, Sam Reinhart. Sam Reinhart finished with more points than Austin Matthews. Granted, he played for 2 more years, so that probably factors into it. Amongst the defensemen, you got Olli Levy, Timothy Liljegren, Dennis Cholowski, all calling it a day. And Michael DiPietro, 1 game shy of 400 in his career. It's all over for him as Pierre-Luc Dubois has retired and become a scout. And we have lost Oleg Shirokov. So we will, of course, worry about that when the time comes. For now, we are focused on making these picks. I don't believe we have any extra picks this year either. So let's see as the Canucks get a medium elite. Let's see what we're dealing with here as the Bruins get a medium elite. High elite goaltender and Jappel. Good old Jappel. Okay, so there might be a chance to get a really good player here, judging off what the other AI are picking up. Hello, Malachi Inglis. Now, I know that potential isn't set in stone, but the point total was all right, too. We also have Coleman, B's with 1C, Zane Pyatt. Erzberg has a great shot. Everything else is a little bit further behind. Okay, so let me take a look at this again. So Coleman, pretty much straight B's at 17. Or we go for Erzberg, who has an NHL caliber shot, but isn't quite there. I wanted to look at point totals again. I think Audi Marchessault had that best point total. For the most part, Kirk Delmore, can't really trust it. Goldobin, Rob Quirk, again, more B's and C's. I'm trying to check those stats just to make sure. Mohamed Freyes, NHL caliber shot. Marcus Kalinin, NHL caliber shot. Still nothing too crazy in terms of like high potentials or anything outside of Tukio not being that great. Like I said, I'm looking to see if there are, grades that really win me over as opposed to potentials. And I mean, so far, the medium 6s, I don't know if we want to go that far off the board to take a Pearson or a Manny Bradley. I don't think we would. You have Tokarski later on. So I don't think there's really much of a spot here to get a steal unless we take Inglis. And I might just take that risk and go with Malachi Inglis. The one downside is that both Erzberg and Coleman could go straight to the AHL. Omar Coleman, fairly well-rounded. We know what the grades are for Inglis. I think we have to take the risk. We have to. This is make or break here. If Inglis is low elite or whatever, that would be huge. Maybe he's medium top 6. I'm going to take the risk. If he's a medium 9, it's a bit of a failure, but we got to go for it. Malachi Inglis of the Ottawa 67s is our pick, and he is a medium top 6, a 74 overall. That is a huge addition to this team. By the time he's 20, he's going to be NHL ready. That is gigantic. So we don't have to sign him immediately. We just go ahead, wait it out, and hopefully he does develop and become NHL ready within a few short seasons. So very happy with that pick. Higher rated than Coleman, Pyatt, same potentials. That was the risk. I thought maybe even a high 9 might be possible at that stage of the draft. Very happy. Kalinin also would have been a fairly solid pick. I'm looking at potentials here more than anything. Low elite Bradley. Of course, none of these guys we would have really considered at that point. Seabrook, a low elite. Medium 4, medium top 6. High 7th for the Bruins. So maybe not the best sign of things to come for us. Or maybe it is. Hello, Gems. So we have Bernard Lemaire. I still have to look. Nothing too crazy. Peyton Sexsmith, great name. Nothing too crazy. Simon Fleury, promising, if he is a low elite. But then there's the medium elite goalie, Kimmo Matinen, who is going to take a long time to develop, and he's also 19 now. I know he's a gem. I know he's a medium elite gem, but he's going to be a very low overall, and he's already behind the 8 ball at 19 years old. I'm not going to do it, because I genuinely don't think he's going to develop. I could be wrong, but I'm hopeful for somebody else, and there is at least Vita Luoma, who is a year younger and still a gem, so I'd probably rather go for him, but he's not confirmed medium elite. Then there's the low 6 that I don't like that potential. I don't feel like it's worth it. Gustav Zatsayev, not looking that great. What about Brendan Mara? Not looking that bad. Not looking bad at all. There's a Yager, which is great. Andre Yager, nothing on him though. Mikola, Edwin Rawlings, hello, Maxime Parks, but he's 20. Interesting. For an overager, that's an interesting player. We have a medium top 6 in Matt Rensfield, but I don't exactly trust him. And then Earl McGrath. I don't exactly trust that either. DeRozier. Okay, just so that we get a look ahead at what's on the board. Jacques Potvin. Okay, so if we go back up to the top here. We did have everybody pinned. It comes down to either one of the 2 goalies, Fleury, Parks, or Mara. With Brendan Mara, the point total's not crazy, but mostly C's, couple of B's at 17 years old. He'd be a risk. Jesus, I only have 30 seconds left already? God damn. Whoa, what the fuck? That was weird. Okay, that was weird. Let's hit the button again. I think Mara might be too big of a risk without the numbers to back it up. So then there's Parks, who again isn't going to be the highest overall, but the shooting and the puck making skills, playmaking ability is there. Injury prone as well, but we don't have to worry about that. 20-year-old overager did well. That's not shocking. I don't think he's going to be a medium elite. I don't trust it. So that means I'm either going for Simon Fleury, the 18-year-old, really good shot. Everything else needs to develop. No guarantees of him actually being a low elite. Or we take one of the 2 goalies, which again with Kimmo Matinen, 2 D's and a C. The problem with Vita Luoma is that we don't know how good he is for sure. So I wouldn't want to risk it. Those grades aren't locked in either. With Matinen, we know for sure. To me, it comes down to Fleury or Vito Luoma, right? And if we look at who we have goaltending-wise, is it worth it to take a risk on another goalie to hope for the best when it might take him a while to develop? We have Åkerlund. Aside from that, Konowalchuk, and then Van Allen's probably not going to make it, and Fox definitely isn't going to make it at this point. Having one more insurance policy in goal might not be the worst case scenario. Whereas defensively, we do have some insurance policies. You know, I mean, you got the likes of Richter, McPherson, Kolosov, Vorobiev still battling, McCult's still battling, Ling's on his way, Nichushkin, Conacher, Nicholson. We went so heavy on defense last draft. We need forward help and maybe a bit of goaltending help. So now's the time. We'll take the risk with the goalie, and we'll see what we get. It's either Vito Luoma or Matainen. I know Matainen's more of a sure thing, but I feel like Vito Luoma might have a higher ceiling with higher grades, and he's a year younger. So this is a huge risk. At the very least, he's a gem regardless. Let's hope Vito Luoma's medium elite. He might not be. And he is. He's a 47. Jesus Christmas. Okay. What's the overall of the other one who's a year older? Like, please tell me he's like a 50, so I at least don't feel bad and realize that either was going to take forever to develop. He was a 52. Okay, we might have done goofed, but regardless, either goalie was going to take forever. Matainen has a 5 overall point advantage. It's not that Vito Luoma, which is funny because we already got burned by one Vito Luoma, but it's not as if Vito Luoma couldn't make up 5 overall points in one season, right? So we're not in an absolutely horrific spot. P.W.A. goes to Colorado, by the way. Rawlings was medium elite. Really? I wouldn't have guessed off of what I saw that Rawlings was medium elite. Huh. And Parks, oof, medium 6. But again, he's 20 at a 65 overall. That's a little bit rough. Rensfield was also decent. So you can say what was the right choice between the two goaltenders, and even if I took the wrong one, Parks might have been worth it, but kind of not, just for the fact that, again, he's 20 years old. There's less time for him to develop. So I don't hate the pick that we made. I don't really feel like there was this can't-miss player regardless. And again, Chouinard, I'm not all that impressed by. Alexander Kuznetsov, that physicality, though. I know that they're gems at low 6, but I don't like that potential. They just don't work out. They don't. We got a medium starter, Philippe Bejin. Don't really trust it. Rory Hensick. Not terrible. Kari Saarinen. If I could trust that he was medium elite, sure. Antropov. Another defenseman, but a potentially great one. Beggars can't be choosers right now. Jacobson, Gaspard Louis, not looking that great. Maurice Gagnon, decent point total for the 19-year-old. And Palmieri. Gagnon isn't a terrible pick. I know time-wise it's going to be a concern here in a moment. Is there anybody else? Javon Hurd, decent point total. He's a bust, though. Pushkarev, no. DeAndre Kolyakovo is a maybe. And Francois Fichaud. Can't really say I'm impressed by anybody. It's just a hope for the best kind of thing, which means probably one of the two defensemen between Kuznetsov and Antropov, and we probably go for Antropov, even though I like the Kuznetsov grades. Antropov's at least 18. Kuznetsov's 19, so there's less of a guarantee. I'm going to go with the safe bet. We're going to take Ivan Antropov, the Russian defenseman. Medium elite confirmed. Let's do it. He's a 50. So maybe some late help. Some late reinforcements in the final few seasons at best. But yeah, look at this draft, man. I've never seen so many medium 7s in a 4th round. That is brutal. We absolutely made the right call last year to rebuild and retool when we did. Medium elite Saarinen. Oof. We were looking at Saarinen. I didn't trust it. Another medium elite. Of course, it would have been more helpful to have the medium elite forward, but to me, I didn't view him as like, oh yeah, this guy's going to be medium elite. So that is what it is, unfortunately. That's a hindsight kind of deal. I'm sorry. I just didn't see it as far as him being like, oh yeah, it's going to be that good. Nicholas Motzko, I mean, C's and D's, decent point total. Cohen Malhotra, B's and C's with 1D. Jerome Gauthier, decent point total for a 20-year-old, and not horrific attribute-wise, if that's accurate. Bo Stone and Philippi Waters. Who else do we have here? We got Bryson Foster. Kenny Peters not looking that great, unfortunately. Jeffrey Lane, not really digging it. What about Alec Randall? Also, no, just not overly impressed. Jalen Kreider, decent point total. A couple of B grades in there, but for a 19-year-old, it's going to be a lower overall. I think it'll just take him too long to actually make it. Rene Valclair is a no. Guy Bouillon is a no. Owen Reichel. Again, he's a 20-year-old, so I don't trust it. Let's look here. Weston Commodore and Maxime Lacouture. I think we'll go off of who we have pinned already. I mean, I know some people are going to be like, oh my God, sort by this. I mean, you know, we have 2 picks left in this draft. I can take a look. So we know that Kreider wasn't, you know, anything crazy. Bennett Smoskowitz isn't anything crazy. Ricardo Potter might be worth the risk later on. Henrika Lawson, not really digging it. Roy Foster with a decent point total, but he's 19 and the grades aren't anything too crazy. Dorian Dietz, I don't trust. Isaiah Frazee, I don't trust. I mean, we know he's low elite. It's just that starting overall is going to be so goddamn low. Same with Dietz. I mean, a low elite's a solid potential to have this year. Is there anybody with like crazy good grades that I could actually trust to maybe develop? That's the problem. Like, there isn't anybody here who isn't going to take, I know time-wise, don't worry. Like, there isn't anybody here who isn't going to take forever and a day to develop. It's the one thing that sucks. Like, this is a, I don't remember if it said it was going to be a week draft game. Did you freeze? I swear to God if you froze. I swear it froze. It froze. Fucking amazing. Well, let's see how much progress we lost. Shall we? I'm keeping this part in because why not? Why not? Now you get to see the, you know, the other side of YouTube where you potentially lose a 43-minute video. You know, the real fun stuff of just having a game randomly fucking crash on you for no reason. I love it. I love it. Oh, so much. And then the anxiety of getting to sit here and waiting to see if, you know, you lost everything you did in this episode, or if the autosave kicked in before the draft. Who knows? That's the fun. Let's find out together. Let's do it. You go to load. Where did it end? Last saved. Oh my God. April 20th. Is it before the draft started? I think it's before the draft started. Right? Right after the Kings' loss. Cool. Well, I'm going to leave this in for transparency's sake. That way you know that, hey, guess what? I kind of know who to target in the draft. And we also know it's not that good of a draft. So this should be fun. Will I make mistakes? Potentially. Like, I'm sitting here right now being like, okay, shit, what names were good? Because it's not like we wrote anything down. Hell, if I fucking knew it was going to crash, damn right I'd write things down. But no, we didn't get the liberty to do that. Now I have to redo this entire goddamn thing. So that's great. And I love it. Oh, so much. It is frustrating, but at the very least, It did save. Winnipeg wins. I don't give a shit about awards. Looking at the Jets, who cares? Kick rocks, Nashville. You didn't win this time. It is what it is. I just want to get back to the draft. I'm not looking at retired players. I'm not looking at a damn thing. Or just go, well, if I hit the wrong button, maybe we'll look at retired players. There's a chance for that. Shout out to Brock Besser. Austin Matthews didn't retire this time. And we ended up losing 2 scouts this time. Thanks for the punishment, EA. That's great. Nothing like losing 2 scouts instead. Let's get to this draft. And let's see what the hell's going to go down this time, shall we? No guarantees we end up with the same players. So that's cool. We took Inglis last time. And as far as I remember, he was the best player available. So, yeah. Like, if anything, right now I'm going off of names, which is a deadly game to play. Some might argue Manny Bradley's the better one to have at a low elite, but I'm gonna still go with Malachi Inglis. No doubt, Malachi Inglis is still the guy for us, the 74 overall. In the second round, I'm definitely going to be playing this off of names. I mean, we know this time I'm taking Matainen as opposed to Vita Luoma, because now we know. I don't remember Simon Fleury being amazing, or Alt Schuler. Cook, Wah, you ended up on Colorado, Pierre. Mikola, we know that Rawlings is good, but again, it comes down, and then Parks, I don't remember if Parks was good or not, in terms of potential. Shit. He was good, too, wasn't he? Okay. Rensfield, I know what... Wait. Wasn't Rensfield medium elite? Like, in the last one, wasn't Rensfield medium elite? Are there 2 Rensfields? I could have sworn last time that guy was medium elite. And if I end up not selecting him and he was medium top 6, I'm going to be pissed. Okay, I think we have the guys here that we wanted. So, like I said, I could have sworn Rensfeld showed up as medium elite. We know Rawlings is medium elite, but we don't need the defenseman. We know Matainen is a 52. I don't remember how good Parks is, so that's the question. Again, do I go for the forward because we need that forward help? Or do I take this one last decent chance at a good goalie? At least in this draft. So one more chance at a half-decent goalie in case we're worried about our current goalie not performing. I got to go for the forward. I'm taking Parks. Our goalie is our goalie, and we're hoping for the best. He was a 65. That's right. Shit. I thought he was a little bit better, but you know what? We need the forward help. Screw it. We need the forward help more than anything else. So I might regret not taking a medium elite gem goaltender, but one cannot deny that we need forward help more than anything else. So I don't totally regret that decision. Only somewhat do I regret taking that goalie, but again, I could not remember, or not taking that goalie. I genuinely couldn't remember if that guy was like a 70 or not. It was Sarainen who was medium elite. That's who it was. But Antropov was good too, wasn't he? Didn't he show up as medium elite last time? Now this time he's not. God damn it, EA! You really screwed me on this one. You really screwed me on this one. Damn it! All right, we are going to take Sarainen as well. Again, we need that help. So let's do it. Kari Sarainen, 99% sure he was the medium elite, and he is. He's a 49. But hey, we're getting that forward help that we needed. Been given a second chance by EA, I guess. I don't know if I'm any more confident in these selections, but here we are. Javon Hurd was a bust. You had DeAndre Kolyakovo. I don't remember how good you are. Oh, God. Francois Fichaud could also be half decent. Motzko had a good point total, but I don't know if I believe in you. Malhotra and Gauthier. I might go for Jerome Gauthier. He might be the guy to go for. To be honest, I'm just looking for any other familiar names that we would have seen at the previous attempt. Jake Quenneville's there. Jalen Kreider. Okay, I think I'm confident with the players I have pinned here. So it might be Gauthier. It's going to be Gauthier. He's 20, but screw it. Jerome Gauthier. How good are you? 64, low 6. Ugh. Well, it's worth a shot. Not going to say I'm rushing through this, but, you know, I'm certainly a tad bit more disinterested than I was just a few moments ago. Owen Reichel. You have Commodore. Commodore is an interesting one. Dimitrakos, Zancanero. Actually, we'll pin Commodore or not. We'll pin Locatour. Sure. EA. Jesus. Figure it out sometime. Jace Tunney. Like, my God. I'm sorry that I can think faster than the menus can react. Oh, boy. Medium top 6. Marcus Lindstrom. Might be worth taking him just for the potential. We have an Aaron Maroon. If we wanted to try and fix that situation of trading away a Maroon we apparently shouldn't have traded away. Or we could just take a Rylan Bertuzzi. Okay, I think we know. It's between 3 forwards. Weston Commodore. Tyler Meyer. Or Mayer. Or Lindstrom. I'm going to take the sure thing and Marcus Lindstrom. Let's do it. Medium 6, a 52. It'll take him forever to develop if he ever does. We have 2 picks left, and yes, I'm very nervous that this could crash on me. Let's see what we have. We have a medium 4 in Sylvester, the 19-year-old. We have Aiden Ellington. Well, point total's not bad. Overager, though, so that's to be expected. Carpentier. Not really anything too crazy. Another overager. Let's see. What else do we have? West as a goalie. Jyrki Nieminen. Not looking that bad. We have another medium 6 confirmed in Willie Cato, the 20-year-old. There's also that defenseman Smoskowitz again. Nathan Adams. Not a bad point total. Smoskowitz, if we could trust it. Vukafuji was there. We have Eli Tubert. Sean Gordon. I mean, some more goalie options if we wanted to take the risk, that's for sure. Ricardo Potter. And you watch, he'll end up being a franchise guy out of that. Tiny McDonald. Zachary Hopkins. Quentin Melnick. Dorian Dietz is there again as a 20-year-old. I just don't know if I trust that. And then Alan Michalski, who's a confirmed enforcer, by the way. So, in terms of the highest rated, it would be Sylvester. Dietz just isn't good enough, even at a low elite. He's too damn old. I know, I hate to be ageist, but, you know. Willie Cato. Well, actually, hold on. What are the final confirmed grades for Dietz? Yeah, he's not going to be good enough. Whereas with Cato, we don't know. Vukafuji, we don't know entirely. Nathan Adams at least had a decent point total, which is why I'm intrigued. Then there's London Sylvester. But again, we don't really need as much defensive help. So I'm gonna go with my gut on this one. I'm gonna take Cato because we might be able to get one of the other 2 afterwards. Cato is a medium 653 overall power forward, and in the 7th round, do we have either of the other 2 players left that we were looking at? The answer is no. So let's see who we have here. To be honest, I'm worried about that whole scouting rank garbage again. So I kind of, again, want to just look for solid grades at this point. Like, can we get a guy who has, like, C's across the board who is promising? And if not, then I'm going to look, well, outside of a goaltender. To be honest, Mishenko's close, but he's a confirmed bottom 6. And if I can't find anybody with half-decent grades, then I'm probably just going to start looking at point totals to see who actually impressed. Aside from that, I mean, it's just wishful thinking and hoping for the best. So, yeah, not really seeing anybody I'm all that impressed by. As we get down into the unknowns. Cool beans. Well, we have that one confirmed low elite in Dietz. Not that we need a defenseman. And to be honest, he's not going to make it. Frazee is a low elite, 18-year-old. He's the pick. Sure. Isaiah Frazee is a 50. Low elite, though. So he might develop. That will end this draft. That will end this episode for sure. I said I wanted to end it on a bit of a high note, and then the game crashed on me. So I'm going to end things now before it crashes on me again. In the next episode, we will set up this team for the 2035-36 season, and we'll take it from there. As far as who makes the team, line combos, player types, we'll figure it all out once we get there. Until then, have a good one, and I'll see you next time.